on what we think Jalan Alor is about.
This is actually Alor is like during the day. As you can see, the street is quiet and empty. However, at night, the road is closed and more stalls start to open. You can smell delicious food, visitors are everywhere, and tourists love this place. But the locals don't like it. For them, the quality just isn't the same anymore. Also, shady activities are sprawling behind Alor's vibrant scenes. This raises the question, what's going on with the street's authenticity?
Alright, so a very good afternoon everyone. I know you all know me as Hao, but I also go by the name of Jonathan. So I'll be the one of the presenters for Just Video. So probably you all are quite curious about the video, but please sit tight and we'll get to that very soon. So we'll start with the presentation on the site analysis. So our site is on Jalan Alor, which is located in Bukit Bintang. One of the most buzzing and happening sort of places in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. So set within 4 major roads: Jalan Podu, Jalan Ubi, Jalan Sultan Ismail, and Jalan Rajesh Wulan. The district sort of forms one of the prominent pieces of the Kuala Lumpur Golden Triangle. So looking into the urban grains, you can easily identify the coarse grains over here, which consists of large-scale and high-rise buildings. And the fine grains over here are in which Jalan Alor is located. It sets itself within the boundaries of the coarse grain and consisting of lower-rise mixed-use shop lot buildings. So in the day, the city is known for being a shopping and entertainment district, and at night, the streets turn into a walk where you can wine and dine in modern cafes, restaurants, or even street stalls. So looking into the district, within the confines of the 4 roads, we can see that the mixed-use shop lot district, highlighted in bright red over here, sets itself within the center of the vicinity, giving it close proximity to the commercial and also the residential district. Moving on to landmarks, there are quite a number of known hotels such as the Swiss Garden Hotel, the Ferry Hotel, and also shopping malls like the Vijaya Times Square or the Sungai Wang. So these places actually provide an advantage due to their nature as tourist or youth attractions, drawing them in during the day. And at night, Jalan Alor, which is located within a 15-minute walking radius distance, becomes a preferred and ideal destination to have a meal and socialize at the end of the day. So this is the general overview of the path and circulations. The site, highlighted in black, possesses quite a few vehicular and pedestrian accesses, as well as ample of parking and also public transports around. Right, looking more into vehicles, so there are less vehicles running along Jalan Alor, mostly in the morning and afternoon. However, in the evening, Jalan Alor is pedestrianized due to the street food activity. Therefore, it sort of redirects the traffic towards Jalan Bukit Bintang, causing constant congestion all night long. Now, for pedestrians in the morning and afternoons, it's quite similar to vehicles. Human density is low, and also small loads can be seen from people transiting through the site, tapawing to work, or getting their lunch breaks. So during the night, as hawkers and restaurant owners start to set up their stores, human density comes to a sudden spike around the Jalan Alor. So these people, they come from around the residential as well as the commercial area. More lots, as you can see, forms along Jalan Alor as popular stores, buskers come into the scene. As for public transport in Jalan Alor, it's actually very convenient with multiple bus points and also railways. So one interesting fact about this is that the KL Hop On Hop Off also passes through the vicinity, although currently is temporarily unavailable. Nonetheless, it sort of sets the food street on the maps of tourists and also travelers as they pass by the streets.
Alright, I'm Ash, everyone. Yeah, and I'll be presenting the second section of the presentation. Alright, human activities. As you can see throughout the day, the atmosphere of Jalan Alor changes gradually. The street is quite empty during the morning, and as the day progresses, more people and activities start to appear. Finally, at night, Jalan Alor is filled with people and stalls. This transition of vibes have been happening in Jalan Alor for decades. Now, community-wise, interestingly, even though the minority races make up a small part of the KL community, there exists a large concentration of foreign workers in Jalan Alor, from the stall handlers to the masseuses and shop owners. Moreover, most restaurant owners in the streets are still locals, but most of the staff they employ are foreigners. Okay. Here's more pie charts about the nationalities and the stakeholders. Alright, regarding its history.
So now.
Alright, the history of Jalan Alor is quite rich. From its beginnings as a pre-World War II settlement, it then slowly evolved through shophouses, small hawker businesses, and even becoming a popular red light district in the 1980s. In 2008, DPKL proposed to rebrand Jalan Alor as Jalan Kejora. However, their decision was met with backlash from angry, dissatisfied local residents and businesses. This incident is a testament of how much cultural and historical significance lies in the name of Jalan Alor. Okay, the vibrant history of Jalan Alor can be seen through the various styles which are preserved on both sides of the street. So here we see the left side of the street where the site is. You can see the street's eclectic and the cubist, whereas on the other side of the street we can see the Art Deco and the post-Merdeka style. The history can also be seen through the rhythmic facade of the street, whereby they respect the architectural DNA that's reflected in the traditional shop lots of Jalan Alor. Although they seem chaotic in arrangement, they're still carried out in an orderly manner. Okay, next. There are four types of street interfaces here. The recessed, the protruding balconies, the extended temporary structures, and the covered walkway. However, out of these four, the most prominent would be the extended temporary structures that jut out into the street. This is due to various reasons. For instance, this interface stretches out the whole length of Jalan Alor. It's also directly on eye level of the visitors that frequently visit the area, and is used as the food stalls during the night and during the day. Regarding scale and skyline, the site is immediately surrounded by low-rise shophouses, while the taller buildings nearby are used for mostly residential and commercial purposes. So compared to these towering skylines, the low-rise buildings around the site create a sort of intimate settings for the users. Moving on to social studies. Alright. For now, I'll be explaining what we have teased in the video. Okay. In the past, Jalan Alor was a safe street which thrived on authentic food and culture. However, nowadays, Jalan Alor is merely a simulacrum in which its authenticity is questionable. It's influenced by its immediate surroundings. For instance, brand imitations are starting to be popularly sold within the area. This all started with one small issue: overwhelming vibrance. The vibrant Jalan Alor nightlife appeals to tourists, but although they appeal to tourists, they do not have the same effect with locals. This results in residents moving away. Now, due to the decreasing local density and for the purpose of cost efficiency, restaurants start to employ foreign workforce, whether illegal or legal. But this also brings about another major problem, which is authenticity in question. Due to the workforce's lack of knowledge in culture and also scale, the food's authenticity is challenged. And as a result of the foreigners' arrival, the already high crime rates start to increase, further degrading the security of Jalan Alor. But Ironically, we as a society are starting to accept this situation, this distorted situation as a norm. With reference to several social theories, Jean Baudrillard's theory of simulacrum states that the truth has been blurred and is socially acceptable. This can be applied in Jalan Alor's case.
Can I read that, please? I like that, very important to me. I'm going to read this first.
Yes.
Simulacrum.
The
Simul what
hides the truth.
Truth.
It is the truth that hides the fact that there is none. The simulacrum is truth. And it's attributed to Ecclesiastes. Yes. Ecclesiastes.
What does this mean? You don't mind?
So essentially, what he's saying is the truth is the truth has been blurred. So there is no truth in the first place, and it is generally considered acceptable by the social community.
They create your own kind of reality by masking over the authenticity with a new sort of thing that is accepted as truth.
Yes, in one word, he describes it as a hyper reality. Hyper reality, yeah.
Meaning?
I also don't know, but that's the word that he was using as that keyword.
Okay,
But then
I can trust it. Perception is reality,
Okay.
and reality is not real.
Okay.
This is the movie Matrix. It's based on the book.
Oh,
Do you know which movie we're talking about?
The Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Okay, through the interviews, we can also find other problems other than the authenticity. Safri, the parking attendants, pointed out the lack of original taste, while Felix would like a place to hang out with his fellow peers. Jade, a tourist we found on the street, would like to see more cultural performances while she eats, while Ali, the shop owner, ponders as to why there's no variety of cultures and food in Jalan Alor.
Right. So now we're zooming into our site. Right, similar to the rest of the site, I believe. Our site is a parking lot. So this parking lot is situated at the corner lot between Jalan Alor and Jalan Tongshin. So next to it we have the Nova Hotel, and also the other side we have the Selangor Toisan Association. So the site is approximately 1,550 square meter. It is very small. The setback of the site, we have reduced it further to 6 meters according to DBKL requirements, as well as following the existing complexes site. So that sort of reduces the visible area of our site to around roughly 1,300 square meters. The site actually has sort of a best of both worlds, with having food streets in the front and also a newly developed cultural street located at the back part. These are the access points to the site. So as the site is accessible from the front, okay, we talk about the front first. From Jalan Alor down to Jalan Tongshin is actually a road that slopes down 2.5 meters, and also so from the Nova Hotel going down to our site is actually 2 meters. So at the bottom, our site is actually raised another 0.5 meters up. Vehicles traveling along Jalan Alor and coming in from Jalan Bukit Bintang will eventually pass by our site. So at the back, the site connects directly to the back lanes of Jalan Alor and also Jalan Tengku Tongshin, which is right here.
How can I just ask the question? Where does Jalan Alor, the shop stops from your side?
It stops here.
Stops there.
Yeah.
So there is a buffer. There is no shops there.
There is no. This one is the shop, and this one is only the Nova Hotel.
Yeah, the street,
At the bottom?
the street. They're selling food on the street, hawkers, right?
Ah.
Where does this stop?
These cars here.
Right there.
Yeah.
They close off the street, right? So they let your side be kind of traffic can still go
Yes,
through your side.
yes.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So, alright, we're talking about the backspace. So the backspace is currently known as Alor Backspace. It's actually a promising development of a cultural street that is trying to bring in more cultures to Jalan Alor. Yeah. So, so as of now, we can see that it's quite Duranish, with durian themed foods such as Cendurian, which is Cendo and durian, durian forest sort of setting for tourists to use as a background for their photos. Currently, we feel that the backspace gives a sense of duality in a sense, with the Jalan Alor distinguished between a road of vibrance and also a road of serenity. So, like example, like couples could head over there after dinner and have a nice walk, maybe get robbed, but still it's serene. So we also think that it's a blessing in disguise where it's there but it's not noticeable from the bright and vibrant streets of the Alor night. Now, going into vegetation, from the street elevation here, you can see that large rain trees, there are not large rain trees next to the site and running along Jalan Alor. So what's notable about the trees near the site is that the trees are planted in close proximity to each other. Thus, it converts sort of like a canopy walkway. Within the site, there's also this tamarind tree, which some people might find it annoying if you want to do something there. But we find it as a sort of very interesting feature that can actually use to encourage nature integrated design within the building itself.
What do you put the word rain tree there? I mean, where's the rain tree on the site?
Yeah, all this.
What is a rain tree? Except for one tamarind tree.
At the back, there's like olive tree.
What tree?
Olive tree is very small.
I'm not sure the exact name of it.
Which one? The one at the side? This
The
one?
one that like.
The one at the I don't know. I don't know. There are some tree.
But rain tree can really grow very high.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
significantly
Yeah,
tall.
quite significant.
Alright, thanks.
Right. Yeah, just on that, going into climatic studies. So it's conducted in 3 different times. So on 10:30, there's effective shadow boosting around the site thanks to the tall rain trees as well as in the one hotel. However, at 1 p.m., the site is totally exposed, and following 4:30 p.m., we have a light shadow casting from the low-rise buildings. So prevailing wind on site is noticeable from the southern side, as since at the bottom there's a very large car park area, which
Time.
alright.
Let's go to the president. All these are very dry. Can we see the more interesting parts?
Alright.
The president is the program, you write your program.
Design strategy. Okay. For design strategies, we came up with sort of 4 strategies. One is multi-frontage, meaning we take advantage of the double facades in the front, where it can cater to both the immediate street or using the rhythm of the winding road to create a whole. At the back, because of the developing culture street there, we can actually use a third facade at the bottom to create sort of duality between front and back. So the second one will be shortcuts and meeting points. With multiple access points, actually can use that to create sort of a meeting point as well as sort of crossroad for people to engage in social and visual interaction. In scale-wise, yeah.
I'd rather look at the president and program. You know, this design strategy, I'd rather look at your program.
Okay.
This is design already.
Alright, then we'll move on to the
Yeah, you know, my program and your president's
Okay.
program proposal.
Alright, okay, so before I move on to the precedents, I will explain briefly what cultural hub to us is. It's essentially the grounds for arts and cultures to thrive, and as well as a gathering place for the community. So first up, we'll see the video for the Taipei Cultural Performing Arts Center.
OMA, right?
Yes. Okay. So we just saw the Taipei Cultural Performing Arts Center. What was interesting about the building is the vertical configuration and circulation, which could be a solution for the lack of land area outside has. Along with the flexibility of the spaces, the building also blurs the boundaries between the public and the private. Okay. Next up is the commons currently situated in Bangkok.
It's in a very hip area in Honolulu, Bangkok.
Alright. One of the characteristics which could be implemented in our designs that we can take from this building is its emphasis of natural ventilation, especially with its open air public space. The programming that is conducted within the building itself could also be considered, as it is very community driven and is very wide in terms of variety. Lastly, our aim is to revitalize the authenticity of the food and culture of Jalan Alor while retaining and embracing the transient nature of the street. And in order to do that, we've come up with a few programmatic responses that we can see. So there could be a place to assist illegal workers. There could be a place for mentoring by local leaders, and it could be a sex worker sanctuary. So from here, mostly from what we gathered from our social analysis, we not only could help the locals, but we could also try and bring authenticity back through the workers, the foreign workers. And that is all. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
You try to bring authenticity to this site.
We're trying to revitalize authenticity because
What does that mean?
through our social analysis, we found out that through the locals also in the site, they deem that authenticity is lost because of the foreign workers. They say that the foreign workers do not know what culture is being used, that they're not experienced enough. So maybe through our cultural side, we can help the illegal workers in learning what culture and what skills they need to revive back the authenticity that was in the area itself.
Malaysian lifestyle.
Malaysian local food and lifestyle, particularly the local Chinese cuisine that was in the area.
So you're proposing some sort of place for them to learn about Malaysian cuisine and keep the authenticity of Malaysian food around the area.
That's one of the possibilities. Yes.
But in the end, it's still going to be prepared by foreign workers.
Yes. Because no matter whether they're foreign or not, it's according to the knowledge that they have in the culture.
But there are quite large Vietnamese restaurants there now.
They're
There
quite
are
large.
quite large Vietnamese restaurants there now. So are you going to close those Vietnamese restaurants?
No, we can we can also sort of, it doesn't mean rejuvenate as in we take off the bad rules and we sort of put in the good ones. It's sort of embracing it together along creating like sort of multicultural food street.
So it's not we're not trying to revive back the previous authenticity. To revitalize means to just bring new life into the Jalan Alor itself. So it could be a mix of culture there.
Do you think it still needs more life?
I don't
Because
think
just now you said you're going to bring more life. Do you think the street needs more life?
I don't think the street needs more life, but the authenticity needs to be brought back to life.
It needs to portray our culture correctly.
The street itself is quite lively.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite lively. It's very. The difference between day and night is very staggering.
You think it's possible to achieve this with what you're proposing? I mean, it's just a little small attempt, but it's something more long term or this, you know.
I think it's
The way I look at it is just like an educational center, trying to preserve the food culture.
Again, it all goes back to supply and demand. As as long as people are buying it, there's no stopping you from trying to bring it back. I mean, after all, if you're talking about authenticity, you should start with Charlotte Street. That's the mother of all things inauthentic.
But same regarding his well, we can start with the Darling Street, but the thing is where
I'm sorry, we are waiting time.
okay, it's okay.
As you know, I am doing a site similarity work.
Yes.
I would say historically, you make no say you call them, you can call them short lots. They are not short lots. The entire street was actually terrace houses. There was no commercial site to go.
Really?
Yeah, there was no. That is why.
It's not a shop house, but it is residential.
They were all the terrace houses. That's why there was such wide sidewalk. The sidewalk used to be the ground floor units. Yeah. That's one. Second is the population there is always continually changing. You know, since 1969, when a lot of the Chinese left for obvious reasons, people have been coming in to fill in the void, and these people have transitioned from your demographics.
Yeah.
There's Myanmaris, there's Nepalis, there's Indonesian.
Bangladesh,
Yeah,
yes.
that is transitioning. So that is somehow becoming new. Whether we want to admit it is actually what I feel is a culture.
Yes.
And just now you showed the pie chart of the demographics. I think I mentioned this before. Is that pie chart representing of the residents that are there or the transient community that's passing through the tourists? Because your community hub will actually be having to cater for both. Okay. I think you got 90% of it right, but sometimes the 10% really makes a difference for the final project. So I hope that's all.
Thank you so much.
Your presentation is quite clear.